Kimmie takes the role of the typical popular, mean leader of the Glamazons in Detentionaire. But why? Is there more depth? Has it got to do with her mother? Like the typical cliche of being out for popularity, wanting to be liked and seen by everybody, how else would you boost your status than to date another clique? That's the core reasoning of being close to or having a partner with another clique. Not only does it give people something to talk about, but it potentially expands your audience like a social media influencer. And if it's synergized right, it can be the talk of the school. At the same time, being single can also do that. Being confident in yourself that you don't need a partner, or doing your own thing, making people want you more. Being considered a diva, and I think that's Kimmie's reach.
Ooh. Who wants to take this one? There is no way any one of us would ever be seen anywhere with you or your, totally nobody friends, even if we're the last Y chromosome in existence.
And judging by her mannerisms, it actually creates an environment of meanness. The rest of the Glamazons are wanting to get the opportunity to get a good eye from her, which is why they try to take the offer. And the offer is just being mean to others. Where do they get that from? The person who they are trying to please, which is Kimmie's approval, of course.
And he's been in my family for generations!
Could you not cry on my sashimi?
And we can see she only cares about herself, to where she sees someone crying and prioritizes how she looks and the consequences of their actions on her over what someone is feeling in the moment. She has no empathy, or very, very little. That being said, it's clear that the Glamazons, Kimmie included, don't have any real, authentic friendships. In fact, most of their connections are basically just business deals. You can give me status and you can sit with me and get all the attention in the world. Thus, Kimmie trying to show that might have to hide her true feelings of wanting a genuine friendship. Maybe that's why she's mean. She's frustrated that she can't be real, so she takes it out on everyone else. And that still boosts her popularity and status. Maybe she has an empty feeling or neglect from her parents, which is why she wants all the attention and status. But with her being her, she can't build any genuine friendships because she attracts the bad things because she is acting like a bad thing.
So, Kimmie has decided that she wants to win Student of the Week this week. I'm gonna need you to help me spread the word.
And here she sends out the rest of the Glamazons on a promotion campaign to vote her as a Student of the Week, every week. Considering the circumstances, that is a tactical boost to her popularity. The first week of school, and getting the status of being Student of the Week, plus all the benefits from the promotion itself too, furthering her image, almost like a political party, like a politician, and thus wanting the monopoly, the control of the social landscape within Enigma High. However, she does this in a way to where it's like a command, not a friendship or favor, because that's exactly what it is. She's formed a group where she's in command and uses social status as currency.
The ice sculpture of you arrived and your nose is gimungus. I guess no one will notice. And there should be way more rose petals, like everywhere. Maybe that's why it feels like this party's gonna stink.
Using her social currency, she orders others, like Brandy, to host a party where she has extremely high standards, similar to being a perfectionist. Keep in mind, these are just high school teenagers. She's so hypercritical of Brandy to where it's basically an insult, and she has tones to where everyone needs or wants that approval from her, almost like she gets satisfaction from watching people please her. And she gets that mannerisms from her mother, being an extreme businesswoman and leader of the council, so it's only a consequence of her mother's actions. In saying that, if she were to host a boring party, she would say that other people suck, or they don't understand her style, or that if she made mistakes, it would be on purpose, because she's a leader, after all. Before and during the party, it's almost like she needs and wants everything in her way, in her vision, not making people individual even though it's their party. And when the party is boring, she blames it on Brandy, when it was her standards and her direction that made it that way. All because these types of parties always happen with her direction. It is boring, and people subjected to the same things get bored. In both scenarios, Kimmie is the reason why parties aren't doing the best. However, when chaos happens, she approves of Brandy, when that was the biggest risk.
This party is pretty awesome.
I may have been wrong about you.
And so it's like a disruption to when things don't go her way and not going to plan. That disruption of her nature brings that risk and therefore excitement, making the chaos good. And it's why it goes over her instincts of not having other cliques in her circle, because the excitement, the fun, usually she would be disgusted seeing other cliques, but in this scenario, it makes things exciting.
I'm rich, and I do what I want. My daddy bought me a restaurant. They call it Kimmie's. 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 Kimmie's.
Honestly, this is just embarrassing. Like, if... Okay. But if this happened in school, it would be over. It would be over. Kimmie is so self-absorbed and wants so much social status, which is ironic considering her self-absorbed song, Pride and Ego, would not go well with people. And that's the thing, she has this one-dimensional look. Instead of looking at the art, which is music, she just forces her own opinion on it, which is she makes the music good because she's her, without following the normal conventions of music and the theory of what makes music good. And she focuses on herself to make the song good without making a song being good by itself. It's like she's the main attraction, not the sounds or anything. But I digress, because that's still her own style and people can be admiring how she has her own style. It's all about her being rich, and honestly, that's the only thing she has, to be honest. Because she's rich, she can have style which attracts people to set her social status higher. Because songs are supposed to be relatable too, she has her name plastered over everything. Maybe she lets it slip and thinks that Ego is okay and that she's earned it, so it's alright to do that after her hard work.
Mandatory bathing caps and exposing the students who use wig weapons. I mean, hair extensions.
The use of hair extensions does show their insecurities, that people won't like them or find them good looking as they are, and that they won't be accepted without them. Therefore they kind of rely upon them. But hey, that's a valid insecurity, and rounds out well with a really good personality.
Miss Kimmie, is that an itty-bitty adorable but very much against the school rules doggy snout?
That? It's my new dog barking app.
Well, if that's not the most realistic doggy application I've ever seen. Rules are rules.
Her wants for a top-tier style does make her rebellious in a way, pushing the rules, going against the school, yet in a way that still tries to make her the center of attention. Say, bringing her whole dog to school. And yet she's not naive about it either, because she does try to hide it. Say, in a way, she's pushing the boundaries too. Funnily enough, when there's a higher authority against her, she submits immediately. Turns into a follower that everyone else is. How ironic, even with a little popularity resistance that she has. And contrasting to what you would think a leader would do, fight back with something, she immediately stops. Because she knows she doesn't have the power in this social situation.
Sup, losers? Oh, and don't answer that, because I don't care.
She does have a lot of sass, like social status is a hierarchy and the only thing that matters. Like they don't even deserve to be in her presence. Even casually, it's so embedded within her to hand out casual insults. Lucky enough, these boys aren't sensitive.
So, who decorated this place? A colorblind monkey?
Ha! All monkeys are colorblind.
Just because you are, doesn't mean your cousins are too. Oh, snap.
She insults here, but there's no audience to pertain to, so it doesn't really have an effect. It's just awkward when she does her insults, especially around those who don't fall to her ways of building easy social credit, because they are smarter.
Ooh, my stomach. I gotta use the bathroom.
FYI, I don't need the 411 on your toilet trouble.
The language she generally uses is what's in right there and then, more popular for its efficiency and trend setting, but also she is also susceptible to disregarding others, especially if it's to do with disgust, leading to blind spots in her general awareness.
So, how'd you score detention? Your shoes not match your bag?
So funny, I forgot to laugh. In case you must know.
Again, Kimmie is susceptible to her ways of gaining social credit. You give her attention, especially if it's, say, something to do with bringing a whole dog to school, she will focus on keeping your attention. And I interpret that's why she did it in the first place, to set a trend and to be cool by bending the rules.
Oh, what's that, Mr. Margolis? Biffy's a little too into his phone? I agree. Whatevs, you probably cheat.
Yeah, I cheat.
That's what I thought.
Let me play my game.
I think this is one of the first iterations of rage baiting I've ever seen, before it was even a term. However, we can deduce that the only entertainment she does find, or any fun she does find, is through causing a reaction. Throwing in little baits here and there, just anything to get a reaction, because then it focuses on her and what she can get out of the interaction and what supplies her entertainment.
I forgot how funny you were. It's kind of not totally horrible hanging out with you again.
If you bring up us playing together as babies, I'll freak.
Ew, that's it. I'd rather vomit.
Kimmie here is bored because rage bait does get tiring after a while if one doesn't react to it, but subconsciously it could be because she can't stand someone having fun without her interaction or her input. So when someone else is having fun without her, she craves that funness too. And here we see in that picture, whenever someone else is doing, we see her true inside comes out. That normal humor does come out, and because she's so focused on cliques, she replaced her real normal humor with those of fake sass. However, in this social interaction where closeness could be built, she reflects Biffy's ick and protects herself with a more harsh reaction, returning to her non-real self, symbolized by her also distancing herself physically from Biffy.
7!
It was also the first day you wore that dumb hat. And you stopped being friends with me first.
For grade 7, you got all girly.
So, should we be enemies forever?
There's a Friends Again app I've been wanting to try.
Let's try it.
From here, it's actually understandable. Kimmie is understandable. Sometimes you make decisions and just want people to not ask about them, especially if it's what to do what you're specifically wanting in that moment. In a way, you want them to understand that it's your decision, but don't want them to understand why you made that decision. Just that it's your decision. And in this case, she wants Biffy to respect her past choices, but understands why their friendship fell off, and is always happy to try their friendship again, because when she's with him, it's almost as if she's like her original pre-girly self again.
I want to say something on record. I will never, ever do anything again that'll make me spend another second with these losers.
Lesson learned.
However, being like Kimmie has its benefits. She just has her facade to push her weakness, aka being with apparent losers, as a punishment. In a way, she could have less punishment, but what seems like a relative punishment, but also protects the boys in doing and confirming this.
It's scandalous.
We didn't have fresh makeup on.
Small interactions like this show the effort the writers go to, even if they were in the background of this moment. And I mean, when Kimmie says it's scandalous, it's because they don't have fresh makeup on, but in her world, it is super serious and scandalous, and that is her focus, so you can see why she would want the footage of the prank destroyed.
Keep your eyes peeled. Chaz is out there somewhere.
We won't be embarrassed. We won't.
And I don't think we ever see Kimmie go against the public opinion, instead start endorsing it and leading it for the people. Kind of like a politician.
I have no idea what you just said, yet I'm still listening.
Because Cam destroyed the footage, he hangs around Kimmie and the gang, and it's crazy. You'd think she'd be slightly jealous, but the relief comes with being exposed, probably puts her on the back foot. With Cam being associated with the group, it'll boost her, so it's almost as if she's letting Cam have the spotlight because of the good work he's done, even not speaking to even compliment him either.
Awesome leash. Where'd you get it?
I sort of made it.
Her socializing in an insulting way is also due to her upbringing, a rich upbringing where she herself has called herself a snob, but is also due to a school environment where insecurities are massive and projected. It's a complicated mix of genuine sarcasms, criticality of herself, but it's also really cool she does be put on the spot and gives genuine compliments like Biffy's leash, things she needs to know for fashion on a more positive note.
I'm better at being pretty, popular, manipulative, not wearing dumb hats. Oh, wait. There is one thing you're better at. Eating my dust.
Again, you can see her inner child come out, something that you would do as kids, but also she's very aware of what she does, such as the manipulation, and she's probably taken on these characteristics from a non-ideal role model. For example, someone might say it might be her mum.
Moi? All those meetings and remembering losers' names?
Gross.
I'd like to nominate Camelia Martinez.
I mean, you can tell this is just a fake friendship, and if he does something wrong, they'll kick him out, or if he's outlived his youth, not remembering his proper name. It's complicated because there's a certain balance between work and what she's willing to do things to get what she wants, but if it's things that don't stimulate her or not in her areas of interest, then it's not worth it.
So, Cam, as Lee's former BFF, you must have loads of dirt on him.
I mean, she's straight to the point, and she has no empathy for the ones she has the effects on, because as long as it's not her directly doing it, then it's okay. Which, you know, that's a characteristic of some completely insane people that screw people over throughout history with questionable morals, but if she's happy to do that in her life, then that's good for her in her case.
I am so hungry. I cannot wait to eat this can of peanuts. Oh no, my eye. Li Ping's prank has blinded me.
A point of emphasis that I would like to bring up is that she does use Lee's own niche against them, a very effective and manipulative strategy, I might say on her behalf, and maybe she's experienced it before, and it does seem like she has exact experience in that area.
OMG! Look, everyone! Lee sprayed ink on my designer sweater with his prank boutonniere!
And it works so well to her advantage as well, because not everyone's going to buy something as expensive as what she's wearing, but everyone knows the price of it. So when that gets wrecked, it is understandable and puts Lee in a very bad position. A very cunning play by Kimmie. And again, there's a balance. If her clothes get messy by someone else, and she gets messy unconsensually, she'd be super angry, but since she's doing it with a cause, from her personal interest, then it's okay.
You may have won this round, but my boy Cam is gonna be Prez. We're on opposite sides. I don't even know why I'm talking to you.
Dream on, Biffy! I will never go on a date with you!
I actually really like how even though they are against each other in this manner, it's nothing personal and it's just friendly competitiveness. And they don't go out of their way to ruin each other's friendships or find excuses to tear each other down, even though they are on opposing sides, which is actually a really good thing about Kimmie, if you're her true friend at least. I really do like how their friendship is developing, because no matter what's said, they both know they want to be each other's friends, and yes, it is just a funny joke. Depending on the friend, if I did that too, yeah, that would be funny.
If you lose this election, you can say bye-bye to your new gang, and bye-bye to your foreign friend, Holnart.
Remember how I said if Cam kept up the good work, he would stay popular, and if he didn't perform, then he would be kicked out? Yeah, that's what just happened here, and you can tell I was right.
Sorry I'm late for our date.
A lot of the times when we are sarcastic, it's usually about something personal, what we want it to be. So maybe Kimmie is saying she truly wants it to be a date, but her proud self can't admit that she does want it to be a date. So she uses the bunny ears as a way to almost set the premise.
And any mini-quote event with me means no majorly out-of-fashion hats. What's that?
And because she's joking and sarcastic about the hat thing as a way to socialize, she probably wouldn't wear his hat, but she probably might have worn a hat that he made. So in a way, she makes other people feel secure about their sentimental gifts as a consequence. Who knows, Kimmie could have actually liked the style of the hat that he made, because he actually put thought into it, pink and white, but instead she made a joke about it, which could have made a very genuine moment thrown out the window.
Here!
A pretzel from your pocket? So romantic. Hello, are you coming or what?
Instead, she gets a pretzel. Now, one thing I admire about Kimmie is that I feel like she would know her worth as a partner and as a person, and wouldn't go any lower than what she knows she deserves. And, you know, her standards may be high, but at least she knows she will get a good partner, and hopefully she'll be a good one, kind of like Brandy in return.
Seriously? This ride sucks. We should be on the double dip or the zero-G coaster.
Whatever, works for me. Up high, chilling out, just the two of us.
As much as Kimmie is unrelatable, I think I can relate to her here. It's not about the event or what you're doing, but the person you're with, and the time and the person is what matters most. Getting to know them, absorbing their presence, all of it is so valuable. I can't relate, however, to going on a Ferris wheel all along with being someone I potentially like, which Kimmie kind of alludes to.
Or how about we play something else instead? Like this.
Nah, Biffy doesn't like anybody, remember?
I might like somebody, but that somebody would have to say it first.
Nope.
I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I can relate to going through the phases of crushes and using all those online love predictors to scratch an itch in my brain, and that may be why Kimmie has it, to potentially give her hope, but it's clear it's because she likes Biffy, and she can't bring herself to be the first to say it, whether it's pride again, or she just wants to make sure, or she's scared of rejection. Both of them can't admit it, which definitely leads to a loyal yet annoying situationship, dancing around everybody's feelings, and yet they both can't say it because they have to keep up this social mask.
Oh, just give me that!
Oh, this just gets better. Barrage did say no phones, so maybe I'll just hand it over to the local authorities.
Again, she's teasing Biffy here, and Lee, obviously, but again, she's put in a similar situation to where she's bored out her mind, and guess what? The position of authority she has because of the phone, the leverage, is what gives her that entertainment. She craves it, if anything.
Stop! You're under fashion arrest. You'll have to sit the next dance out.
Oh my! Brandy, you look divine.
Ah, thanks, Fashion Police. I'll never look uncool again.
You can dance if you get past the Fashion Police!
As silly as this idea is, I guess she's trying to input herself to have more power and make herself the ultimate judge of her ideal party, creating an artificial system where people need her validation. It also creates competitiveness and new styles too.
What just happened there? Was there some kind of alien-like body snatcher invasion?
Biffy'll kill him.
She's probably just being contrary, anything not to be predictable.
Need I say less? Brandy says it best. Anything to justify the leader's actions, even if it's super out of the ordinary, and therefore there is just a little bit of reason to it.
Ew. Wait, why would I... Hoagie, get me another taco. This one's mushy.
Another characteristic of Kimmie is just how she is so much like herself that she does break out of the brainwashing because of her different taste to begin with at its very core of who she is, and she knows this. However, it could be that internally she isn't ready, not wanting, or not liking anyone else but Biffy, and it's just so out of her style that it does snap her back to reality. Not only this, but when she gets brainwashed again, ironically, Boga would be a good match for her, a good partner that she deserves. Maybe not in a stylistic sense, but a personality sense, since he genuinely is a good partner and is doing the best he can to be a good, better partner for his own partner. Albeit sometimes he is a bit confused.
She likes Biffy!
No, I don't. That's crazy talk. I for sure don't like Biffy.
Me, you, dance. It's on.
To go along with what we said before, she can't admit she likes Biffy, and it catches her in such a vulnerable position because she can't navigate the future or how the social circle will react if she dates Biffy. She can't have that information get out without her consent either, and so she reacts in a way to protect herself, therefore taking Cam to the dance. It's glimpses like these where her true self gets shut down because of other people too.
You're the president. Fix this. These shoes cost more than your outfit, and they're not coming off.
She does directly immediately default to using those in power, almost like a scapegoat, but being manipulative if anything goes wrong, and it's so ironic that she does have all the social power in the world, but absolutely no practical power to change the rules if she wants to, if she just put in some extra effort to be the class president, or the year president.
Sorry? Who will be tagging along with who?
Fine, I'll be tagging along with you. Now give me that!
Psychologically, she wants people to admit things as she dangles what they want in front of them. I think it's like a dopamine type thing, or a security type thing too.
That sounds tray suspicious. And fun. I'm in.
No way!
Way.
No!
I said way.
Fine!
You talking to me? You're banned from that privilege for a week. You're lucky I have a spare shirt in my locker.
The way she goes about things and the tone she uses has some very direct internal power that strikes, and sometimes you just don't want to deal with, or it's not worth the effort to argue with someone like that. A very stubborn tone, one would say. But also she does find the thrill of doing something rebellious too, which is a good change up to her schedule.
After you.
Her ego does get fed when she does prove something, and it also seems like she does get insane pleasure from proving something in front of someone else's faces, in which we all would.
Yes, your ex-daddy is a soda junkie who's never coming within 1 foot of you. No, he's not.
Talking about the future, I find if she were to divorce someone, she would in fact say something along those very lines, and she would definitely be one of those gossip girl moms. I'd be like, oh my goodness, Sydney, did you see what she was wearing? Like, she literally has a voice for it as well.
Who's clinging to who? With those lips? Miss Baby Kissy.
Whatever, you were way more clingy than I was kissy.
And because of her ego, as long as you entice her with some competitive nature or something against her that she cannot achieve or something lower, then you can always distract her or get her to yap or anything of the sort.
Leonard, I hear you have a very keen interest in aviation.
His name is Lee, Mom.
Well, if you do enjoy planes so much, maybe next time we do weekend brunch in Paris, Kimmie can invite you along.
So now all of Kimmie's mannerisms make complete and total sense. Her mum is literally the businesswoman archetype. Judging by the subtle hints, the voice tones, you can tell she is a very cunning, manipulative, and direct powerhouse. And obviously if your parents are like that, you'd want to be like them too, or take on features even if you don't know. Ironically, she does correct her mum on Lee's name despite forgetting everyone else's name as we've seen before, not only because of their latest interaction, but because she probably holds a popularity list. She does know French, probably from travelling a lot, which is alluded to, which could be a way of gaining exposure, but it's also kind of symbolic of her gossiping. She talks about people behind their back in a gossip fashion without them knowing, and in a way, she is using a coded language to talk trash about Lee directly to his face without him knowing.
You do it on bended knee, in song, and on camera.
As we saw before, her mum doesn't really listen to her, and maybe by doing this, she can actually get people to listen to her. That's why she does ridiculous statements like this to get Biffy to do that, because in a way, people are listening to her. That's why whatever leverage comes, she uses it immediately to what? Get people to do what she wants, to get people to listen to her and what she wants.
No, I will never go out with you, not even if you were the last hat on Earth.
It is a bit weird because the image she is trying to portray to the rest of her glamazons as she walks by is that she would not date Biffy, but if she did date Biffy, they would justify it like we've said before, or they simply wouldn't even care because it seems like they're just drones on autopilot. Almost like they can't think for themselves, so it wouldn't really matter what she's doing. And despite teasing him and publicly humiliating him, basically he's a big guy, so he can take it for his social reputation, not that he cares, but also the look that she gives Biffy is a very reassuring yet teasing glance, which does give a bit of security in their relationship, situationship.
Please, that doesn't look anything like what it should. Your color choice and perspective, way off, and that hair? Tray wrong.
First of all, this graffiti appeals to her in two ways, in the way that it's the fashion aspect in which Barrage isn't wearing fashionable girl clothing, but also because she knows she can do it better, or apparently she knows she can do it better. But ironically, she could also be a really good artist, knowing what colors go together. That's how fashion works. Ironically, she could be a very good drawer or singer, because she knows what's fashionable, what's poppin'.
Great. Geek jail. I should've—
Keep it down, unless you—
Don't you dare tell me!
The reaction here is so motherly-like when you disrespect your parents, that's the type of shock that she's probably experiencing. She has so much respect for herself that when someone doesn't, it's almost shameful of them to do, even by their standards, even if they didn't.
That's for getting me detention. And that's for not apologizing.
And you know, most of these things can be considered wrong or immature to do, so when she does let it out, she almost justifies her physical force use on Biffy because he can take it. But what is he gonna do? Hit her back? And she's so in over her head that she doesn't even see that it's her fault to begin with, so the other person just has to force their own apology towards you, otherwise things will never be okay, and she can never see that she's wrong.
I'm sorry you're so upset.
Well, I'm sorry your hat is so ugly. But that's not a real apology. These are designer!
Kimmie is definitely a confusing case because she sees and is mature enough to see how that apology wasn't really an apology, and yet doesn't see her own BS. She's able to detect other people's BS because that wasn't a proper apology, but whenever she does it, it's always used to her advantage and always used to her benefit. She's also really petty about it, in which saying it to Biffy's hat and all. Something that I notice is that when she's put in an environment where she can't control the physical student variables, and when she's put into detention, she doesn't waste any energy fighting back or going against the system, and only does so when there's students involved or when she can use students.
How could you know this stuff? Emo Joe had a tough sleep last night because his teddy bear was in the wash?
I'll show you. It's pretty awesome. Get in. Let's go for a drive.
Her having all the school's secret is the ultimate weapon and ultimate gossip for her. And adding Biffy to the equation, someone to share the gossip with, makes it all worth it to her. She doesn't even think about her own secrets either because they are sealed and safe, and that makes everything for her awesome and risk-free. Ironically, it would destroy her own reputation if people found out about it, so she can bring others down before that happens as well. The fact that she doesn't even feel bad, or if she is because she has to, to enjoy the sneakiness of it, she's repressed it so much to bring her that enjoyment. These are people's secrets and insecurities, and she's so far into it, it's definitely something Kimmie would do. And if she didn't like Biffy, then no one would have even found out about it, which is even scarier to think about.
Seriously, were you, spying on me?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Set this up to bug kids at school? Why?
Hello? My mom's head of the Parents' Council. Keeping tabs on people is part of the job.
And the fact of the matter is, Kimmie influences people around her. And she influences Biffy to where he doesn't even think it's a problem. He thinks it's kind of cool that he gets that information too, that he's led into Kimmie's inner circle, but he's also too worried about his own insecurities with Kimmie and not to upset her, which everyone is afraid to do. And it's also because her mum is the one that started the idea, so if mum says it's okay, or does it, then it is okay. It's almost like her mum is her moral compass, and thinks everything is okay if mum does it. Even if it's literally invading people's homes, privacy, conversation, which Kimmie would definitely not be okay with given the same situation.
Really hates you. If she finds out we're hanging, she'll go ballistic. So what's a big plan for our date?
Date? Psh, please. I just came by to use you for your pool.
I'm so sure.
Now, even if she's directly telling Biffy that it's a date, she's literally laughing about how he has to keep up this facade, this cool facade in front of her, despite there being no one around. And it may not seem like it, but she dropped that pride and turned it into another form of pride, where she's leading and directing where things should go between them, which is a huge step for her character. And I honestly think ever since Biffy came into her life, even this seems to be a small off-put moment, he has directly caused her to change. This moment definitely is where one of her masks slip, and she is putting herself out there and being more vulnerable, albeit in a confident, knowing her worth way.
We're bored and helping folks is what we do.
It is?
And I guess people show the worst parts of themselves to people they like after they've been around them. They can be their real selves. I guess she needs to spend more time with Biffy, or really needs a big revelation or understanding for her to truly change. But still, habits of hers are super strong and may even be stronger around people she likes being around, like messing with people that don't affect her personally. It allows her to open herself, but things get worse and you see the worst side of things before things get better.
Why are you talking to me? What's a Kimter?
This, the hammer of love. Could there be a better test of manliness?
And so we can see that she is very superficial, where strength means manliness, or that manliness even needs to be in a relationship, instead of just the person being them and living their inside, not what they can do, but literally who they are. But also we see that Greta is smart enough to know that Kimmie would not just talk to her without a reason, giving their differing social groups, so now we can see how wild and out of character to her Kimmie is when she does, and if she does, then there'll be some ulterior motive.
Why don't you strangle a baby duck for an encore, Mrs. Meanie? Older, wait up!
Evil? Maybe. Hot? Totally. Am I getting a sit?
Like I was saying, the worst of the people comes out with people you are comfortable with, and this is one of the times, rare times, she's actually had a negative interaction with Biffy, and she is plenty aware of what she does and is smarter than she looks, and this is probably a rare time where she probably knows she's messed up and it's really hit her in the face with Biffy. And remember that one that she pointed out on Biffy? I think she'd start to insult people less when other people's insecurities get pulled onto her. She starts to empathize. And it seems like she took these words to heart because she says this.
I thought taking advantage of the already disadvantaged was cruel. Gee, who's the mean one now?
She's had some time to reflect, and probably she seems like, Biffy was correct. Which does make sense given that she said that. If it didn't affect her, she would have said it or reflected or even said it back to Biffy or called him out on his hypocrisy, even if it was in a petty way.
Oh, by the FYI, do you know who Benedict Arnold is?
Who? Oh, that new hot guy who sits behind us in English Lit?
Your place. Big vote.
Realize that without Biffy, there is no self-reflection, and she just becomes her old, cunning self. And I do find it interesting, like when her mother was talking about the aviation with Lee, hinting about things that she know or didn't know, and the hidden things that she knows Lee's been up to. She talks to Brandy in a similar fashion or uses trigger words related to what they are talking about in also a hidden fashion. And it really goes to show how much Kimmie's mum influences Kimmie. It's like she's been spoiled, but without the care of her mother, taking her mannerisms without knowing why or how they are, or actually knowing what's right and wrong, or what to say.
Look around. Everyone hates you and loves me.
Looks like the only one who loves you is you.
Something particular is that the rest of the Glamazons probably feel the same way, but are too scared to speak up or have suppressed their emotions. And a theme I see is that Kimmie is actually alone. No one actually likes her for who she is, except Biffy, which probably kickstarted her whole character development. And the thing is, we actually haven't seen any of the Glamazons speak to her just because they were probably too afraid of being judged and just followed her. So by wanting all this attention, she's made herself on the inside truly alone, despite being surrounded and adored by the masses.
Cupcake, dear. On second thought, do you really need the empty calories?
And it's small moments like these that humanizes Kimmie. She was about to have the enjoyment, you can even see her face smiling at the thought of having a cupcake. But now her mum is harsh on a teenage girl for eating something somewhat tasty, even in moderation. It's almost like she uses that hurt and vents it out to others in her own way, which is why she's also so mean to others. She just gets it from her mum. Although it's not an excuse, sometimes you do let your emotions leak into other things. Just as her mum controls what she eats, she wants to control others in a sense. But the fact she listens and doesn't fight back shows how attached to her she is and how much power her mother holds, even for her being such a very stuck-up person. I think a lot of people, including myself, have felt hurt from this, especially when it comes from a loved one.
You know that pink sweater that went missing? I took it. I look better in it anyway.
And you so do not look better in it. And you do not look nearly as good as you think you do in that outfit.
Like I said, it's just her way of venting. Once her fashion sense is attacked, she has to do everything she has to defend it. But when it's based on emotion, it comes out as insults instead of actually analyzing. Like the color coordination as well, she could be critiquing, helping, and that would make her popular in a more natural, organic way, and she wouldn't feel as alone or be alone even.
Oh yeah? The only reason we even let you into the Glams was because I wanted to see if I could turn an ugly duckling into a swan. Turns out, you were a donkey.
I think this definitely proves my point. Like, the basis of her plan was to see if she could have a fixer-upper and probably promote it to the masses. And the whole concept of the Glamazons is just unfair. You have to prove you're stylish to get in, but also, you can also get in by being an absolute trash case, so it's a glow-up. So it kind of gives the Glamazons a very negative rep.
Hey, nice interview. If anyone had any doubts you weren't a totally cruel, egotistical viper, they won't anymore.
That being said, she probably knows Biffy is right, and me, Anne has a point, and she did mess up, which is why she quickly just brushes it off and probably feels guilty that she did, almost like a politician, show too much emotion while not giving proper points.
Go to that. Want it? So? Is my mom evil?
Well, she's not evil, huh?
Okay then, I'm not telling you the code. Point moi.
And honestly, I think Kimmie is so alone and has no one else other than Biffy than her mother, which is just her mother. She has to love her mother. And so since her mother's the only one in her life that's known her through all of her phases, she's so attached to her and therefore cannot take any slander towards her mother and can't see her as evil when she, although she did raise her in, not in a very caring way, she's still a mother after all, and she can't see her mum as evil. And, ironically, if her mum is evil, then she truly will be evil too. Thus, this changes her whole identity, so she has to defend her mother to not be seen as evil as her mother, but also to defend the family pride. She can be selfish, but not truly evil.
Did you hear that?
Driver, once you drop us off, you were to take this car to the shop. Latte?
Why isn't Biffy picking up?
Boys. They're just never around when you need them. Not like your mother.
As I said, Kimmie's literally alone. In the first dialogue, even her mum makes her feel alone, intentionally flat out ignoring her daughter, then just brushing it off with a latte. And it's just so ironic. Every time her mother has been there for her, it's always been a negative interaction, from Biffy to Lee to herself with the negative calories. She's right, she has been there for her to basically make her the worst version of herself or portray the worst version of herself to others, and it's so hard when it probably started since childhood, even giving a negative impression of everybody to her so that psychologically she is messed up.
Kimmie, wait in the sub. I'll be there in a moment.
You know, most average billionaires have jets. Why do we have to take a sub?
And your friend Biffy just thinks I'm evil because our family has a sub and his doesn't. K.
Another mannerism she's gotten from her mum is the K. It's basically making the decision for another person, basically making you agree, and that's that. And the way she asks is so commanding. It's rather a forceful choice rather than a suggestion. So you can feel how repressed she feels and how much she has to hide herself when she brings out a genuine question out of curiosity.
I was just thinking, how come normal families go on vacation to, like, amusement parks, tropical beaches, skiing in the mountains, but we always come to this, like, top secret military facility that isn't even on any map?
You can really see Kimmie doesn't ask a lot of questions, but you can see all this time that Biffy has been saying that her mum is evil, it's been about protecting her. Kimmie has always protected her mum so strongly, but you can see that Kimmie has noticed and is curious about all the coincidences that has happened, like the keypad and the submarine and everything. It goes to show that she values Biffy so much, and through repeated patterns, that it does spark that genuine curiosity and therefore doubt, and maybe it's the start of truly seeing her mother for who she is.
Hello? Suspicious much?
Don't you think that if other families had top secret military bases that they'd go there too? You happen to be a very lucky young lady. Now excuse me for a moment.
You can literally see Kimmie does not like this behavior at all, and Kimmie's mum doesn't directly answer the question, and the seeds of doubt has already been sown. But notice how her opinion or question is brushed off again, and the phrase that her mum says, "Don't you think?" really goes to show the underlying cruelty and how systematic it's become, and not actually treating her daughter like a daughter.
How long is this gonna take? I need more suntan lush. I'll just come back later. Let go!
She is so focused and honed in that she sees most things as an inconvenience, but also in that situation she's not aware or deep enough curious to see that there is an evil lizard guy in her house, but also how her mum sees her, oblivious and accepting of whatever too, a follower. This is also the first time we actually see Kimmie struggle, or like she knows something bad is about to go down, since she isn't at school and becomes the same as everyone else in those situations.
If you aren't really evil, like Biffy says, why did you work for a giant lizard monster?
Honey, it's a long story and we really don't have time.
Okay, it's official. You're evil.
All this time Kimmie was hoping her mum wasn't evil, but everything just keeps stacking up. Like she's never seen this side of her mum before, this kung fu combat sided mum, so it really begins to say, her other side, what she doesn't see, is basically evil, since there is no explanation of why she knows how to fight, or why she entails with a lizard guy.
And everything else.
Let my mom go!
This is also one of the beginning realizations where Kimmie probably thinks that everything she's done is useless, mainly because she can't save her mum. She literally has no power, no nothing, and her mum is just there, vulnerable, about to die to someone she's powerless against.
Li Ping.
Mom! You totally betrayed him!
I totally do a lot of things. Now quit whining and...
Remember how I said all the coincidences are popping up and she's showing her daughter a real side, the real side of her that Kimmie has never seen before? And that includes betrayal. Now, even though Kimmie has betrayed a lot, when mum does it in this type of fashion, it is not cool, and it coincides with her being evil.
We already have a fortune.
Oh, you can never have a big enough fortune.
So, did you finally get my memo that your mom is evil?
Got it, read it, and totally.
Because of her arrogance and blindness, she has failed to see it. She had a friend telling her all along that her mum was evil. But would you really think your parent was evil? Because you live with them. Maybe she thinks it's okay to have those type of mannerisms because that's how she too was raised. To see her as a role model at the same time she's arrogant and blind to seeing evil robots literally everywhere. She doesn't care to look or question until it's too late, because although she's a social leader, she's a follower towards her mother. And she refuses to accept it until the words come out from her mum's mouth. But also, just like her mum makes everything about money, more money is the ultimate success, Kimmie takes that on through social currency.
Whoa! How did that...
Okay, my mom totally needs therapy. I get it.
Who would have thought Kimmie, of all people, would be saving the day? She has been the #1 defender of her mum since day one, because who wouldn't be? But now she sees how ridiculous this is, how focused on money she is, and how disgusted she is from the betrayal to focusing everything on money, and that she does in fact need therapy. Because ironically, she sees how not cool her mum is for not doing so. Ironically, it's because of how Kimmie was raised is because everyone is saved, and the perfect timing of it all too, the neglect, the brushing off, the coincidences, was in fact what saved everyone. Despite being flawed, say, if her mum was open, then it could be Kimmie even helping her from birth, but because things happened the way that they did, there is no other perfect timing or perfect disgust for her mum being like this.
You're secretly such an affection hog. You big lug.
And finally, did you really think Kimmie of all people would even knowingly be in the vicinity, much less be in a group hug with the likes of Lee, who she basically hates, Jenny, who was seen as one of the biggest losers, and Holger, which is seen utter disdain for? Maybe now it all makes sense, why Lee was trying to do everything, and now understands that Lee was just trying to beat the evil that was in fact her own mum. And judging by evil how her mum was, I think this shows growth. She's grown from being like her mum to realizing that open disgust for others for their social status isn't the way to go on things, and that her life matters more than anything, and it's basically powerless. Wanting more popularity all the time is just like her mum wanting more money and more fame over everything, which is in fact not cool.